Welcome back, everybody. Escape the heat this summer by hitting the AC and enjoying a movie, some good old-fashioned fun. The historic Paramount Theater is hosting its annual Summer Classic Film Series. It has already begun, but there's a lot more fun to come. So Stephen Janice, Senior Director of Film Programming, is here to tell us more about what to expect. Lovely to see you, Stephen.
Great to see you too. Thanks for having me.
I love talking about this every single time because guys, it's basically Steven who chooses all 100 movies with maybe a bit of input here or there, but it's a big ask from you every year, and you always deliver. So if you wouldn't mind, kind of just remind us about what the summer series is about.
Yeah, so this is, as you mentioned, it's now a 51-year tradition, beloved tradition, downtown Austin, in this gorgeous, now 110-year-old movie theater, the Paramount Theater. And we try to kind of encapsulate the entire history of movies into this like 3-month span. So over those 100 movies you mentioned, we're playing things from the 40s to as recently as like 2 years ago. Every genre you can think of: comedy, drama, kids movies, thrillers, etc. And so my biggest goal is to try and have like 3 to 4 things on there that every person would be interested in. Like, I want you to look at that lineup and circle like 3 things and be like, I have to attend these things.
And there's going to be a specific category coming up towards the end that is like, I am like tick, 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 you've got me on. But if you wouldn't mind, let's talk about 70 millimeter versus 35 millimeter, because this is officially outside of my comfort zone as far as like what I know about movies, but you have 3 rare 70 millimeter presentations.
Yeah, so 70 millimeter is kind of the big on actual celluloid film format that has kind of been rediscovered lately. Oppenheimer was released on 70 millimeter, so a lot of the filmmakers like Christopher Nolan, Quentin Tarantino are really big on pushing this format. Just the grain and kind of the texture that you get on film is just different from digital and kind of adds to that unique experience of seeing a movie in the movie theater. So this year we're playing a new 70 millimeter print of North by Northwest, classic Hitchcock movie. Phantom Thread, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. They both have new movies coming out this year, and those are always like big events for film nerds. And then we got 2001: A Space Odyssey, which we play almost every year, and that is in particular a movie that you kind of have to see in a theater with a huge crowd. There's an intermission. It's just kind of that like old-fashioned movie-going thing, and to see it on 70 millimeter film is a real treat.
I still don't even understand what it is, but if you're telling me like I am having a different experience when I walk out of the theater and I thought I really enjoyed that, that might be one of the reasons why. And I advocate, by the way, for bringing back the like intermission, especially as our movies tend to get longer and longer as we go. My goodness. Okay, 35 millimeter. Let's talk about that because it includes a couple of partnerships.
Yeah, so Hyperreal Film Club, which is this really amazing collective in town, they now actually have their own space on the east side, but they've been showing movies with us for a few years, and so this summer they've picked 3 movies all on 35 millimeter film, which again, on celluloid, very unique, very cool, only in a movie theater experience. They're showing Cabaret, Now and Then, 90s kids favorite, and then here in about a week or so they're showing Pan's Labyrinth, the classic Guillermo del Toro fantasy movie, which is a lot of fun. So things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles we're showing on film, Black Swan, the Natalie Portman movie. So these are, again, movies that maybe you've seen at home on Blu-ray or on TV, but seeing them in this format in a movie theater with a bunch of people is really special.
Oh, Now and Then is sticking with me. I love that movie. Okay, there is a family film series. So yes, Pan's Labyrinth could be a little bit scary. And there were thrillers abound, but talk to me about what the family specific stuff is.
So family series, discounted tickets for kids 12 and under, and again, trying to run the gamut of things that are a bit older, like Sound of Music, that maybe like my generation grew up already being a classic for us, and we fell in love with it, to things like Babe, Jumanji. I mentioned Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 90s one. The Sandlot. We're doing a double feature of Toy Story and a Goofy movie, which are both having an anniversary this year. So again, trying to like introduce kids to movies that maybe they aren't, rewatching 9 million times at home, something a little bit unique that parents maybe grew up with and they can share with their kids. And I think of everyone, kids love the Paramount Theater experience the most. Just the idea that there's this balcony you run up the stairs and sit at, and we've got a curtain that opens and closes. it's just one of those things that I think helps kids fall in love with seeing movies at the movie theater, and that's why we love doing that series.
Yeah, that's what you want. Is you want to get them in young, let them fall in love with movies.
Yes, we want to create the new generation for sure.
Exactly. Okay, and then so I feel like I've heard a couple of them mention, we've met the gentleman from The Sandlot, and I will say that the guy who plays Porter or Ham or whatever his name is, still hilarious in real life. He was awesome. I really adored him. Okay, but 90s kids, special shout out for anybody who grew up in the 90s, because there are some special movies.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the interesting thing about my job is, when I started, people would say that movies from the 80s and 90s shouldn't be considered classics because they're too new. But time
We're getting
has
older.
That's what you're telling me. And so movies now from the 90s, for a lot of kids today, they were born way after those movies came out, and so they are classics themselves. So another family film we're showing, Matilda, is one that a lot of my coworkers have been, requesting for a long time. Things like Clueless, Friday, House Party, again, these are movies that my generation grew up watching as kids. And so it's like a nostalgic treat for us to see them. But for a younger generation, it's like these are old kind of movies that they're going to be discovering for the first time.
Well, and you may not have seen it in years.
Oh, true.
So
yeah.
you might love Clueless, but when's the last time you sat down to watch it start to finish?
Yeah, exactly.
We got to leave it there, Stephen, but such fun stuff. Thank you for the lovely lineup. We can't wait to have some fun in the AC.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Explore the full Summer Classic Film Series lineup and grab your tickets now at austintheater.org/film, or make the most of your movie nights with FlixTix, a discounted pack of 10 tickets valid all summer long.